All right, so we are Katie Dennett, thinking what happens when kids go full throttle. All right. Telling your followers, cool beans. Ooh, Vision's here this evening. I'm just getting ready. Johnny C, what's happening? Let's do this. All right, over there, and here we go. Vision, Johnny C, Rich Got, Senor Lobster, Carmen, cool beans, K Mag, James, good evening, James, Elton, People Watcher, Durham, B Rad Daddy's in the house. Cool beans. User 6841, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Bonds Fabio. Bounty Hunter. The Palm 78. AGJ 19. Carmen, good evening. Patrick, what's going on? Jerry. B Rad Daddy, go on. Mother Trucker. I'm gonna use Mother Trucker. You're just gonna have to deal with it, dude. Nate the Fisher. The fishing. Okay. Nate the Fisher. All right. Moniz, Bob Dallas. Cool. Good day. It was very interesting, Nate, from what I understand. Alex, what's going on? Ghost. Evelyn, good evening. So it was an interesting day. Now, I knew nothing at all because, see, I jumped in on this morning, did my trades this morning. We looked at everything, answered a bunch of questions. The best rat. Cool beans. Tommy Kane, what's going on? Frank, how are you doing? 8 Meta Hiti. Okay. 8 Me Tahiti. Cool. Mother Trucker. Didn't MTG put 250,000? That Marjorie Taylor Greene? I have no idea what 250. Yeah, I know what 250K is. 275K. But didn't MTG put 250, 275K? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene, but where did she put 275? Clueless there. Okay. Tommy, what's going on? The best rat. Did the live just start? Actually, just starting. I haven't even said hi, hello yet. Okay, we're actually that. Okay, Luigi. Hey, Papa James. Actually, it's Papa G. Papa G. Okay, I only got one grandson, but it's still Papa G. In 19 stocks. Okay. If she's got 275 grand to put into 19 stocks, hey, more power to her. Jersey, what's happening? Jersey 78, that silver guy. Good evening, good evening. All right, so here we go. Giovanni, how are you doing today? Good evening, everyone. Jeff Jersey, I see ya. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks. I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Papa G, that's right, Luigi. Blue guy, what's happening? All right, thank you for that, Jeff. Rose Gold. Thank you for that, Miss Rose Gold. Or is it Mr. Rose Gold? Funny thing is, it's like I actually have no idea who's at the other end of these names. So I make assumptions by looking at the names, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. The best rat. Love your lives. Thank you very much. Hamburger. Bro forgot to close that spicy tab on his computer. Okay, I'm totally clueless as to what that means, but all right. So, as I was saying, my name's James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. Now, the 10-Minute Trader got its start in 2008 when my 9-year-old daughter said, "Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me?" Okay, so any dad with their 9-year-old little girl wants to spend more time together. Hey, great. It was wonderful. We had a great run, me and her, from the time she was 3 until the time she was 13. Because at 13, you know what happens then. Yeah, all hell breaks loose. So Tony, to be 100% honest with you, Tony, I heard a few rumors, okay, but I didn't actually check. So I have actually no idea. I did check my personal account, my Robinhood account. Now, yesterday, remember I said this last night. Yesterday I got a margin call on Robinhood. So I took a loss on Riley. So this afternoon, after the market closed, I took a look at my account and I said, what the hell? There's like, the account doubled from yesterday afternoon. Because yesterday afternoon it was at X. Now it's at 2X. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell went on? Because I know I didn't transfer that much money. But anyway, besides the point. Jamie, sup with you? Lolly. Ooh, wait a second. Hold on. Uh-oh. Now, Lolly, don't take this the wrong way, but I remember Schoolhouse Rock. Lolly, get your adverbs here. Father, son, and Lolly, get your adverbs here. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Saturday morning cartoons. Lolly was one of the characters. Lolly, get your adverbs here. Jamie, what's up? Best rates, gotta go again, cause I'm going to the store, then I gotta sleep, cause it's 9:23, so see ya. Okay, the best rat, have a nice evening. Blue guy, evening. Trey, good evening. Say Bryce. I have no idea what say Bryce means, but okay. All right, so anyway, as I was saying, all right, John Warner, sorry. Took a quick look. Look, I said John Wayne. I forget where I was going with that. Oh, so as I was saying, my 9-year-old daughter in 2008 wanted to learn. She said, Daddy, can you teach me? I want to see if we get Facebook up and running. I'm having issues with Facebook for some strange reason. Daddy, can you teach me? So how do you teach a 9-year-old how to trade stocks successfully? Because we all know that a 9-year-old, you can't possibly have her lose. Because if she lose, what the hell's going on here? Okay, this ain't right. Get out of there. That's not moving. I hate it when things don't move. There we go. All right, let's get out of there. Let's go to there. All right. So anyway, how do you teach a 9-year-old how to trade? Well, because most adults have no clue on how to do it. So here we are trying to teach a 9-year-old how to do it. Why am I looking at this? All right, out of there. Thermo Fisher. Okay, this is where we are. Okay, Yahoo Finance. All right, so what are we looking at here? Okay, now why isn't this one pulling up? There it is. That's why it's not pulling up. What the hell am I once? What? I get so much going on in front of my computer. Rose Gold, Tony Parker, what's up, James? Crazy day. Yes, it was. Lolly, good evening. Jamie, good evening. Steve, Dino Lazzy, Chef P-Rod. Okay, Chef P-Rod, good evening. Scott Cook, how's it going over there? And do you like it, the computer? Dude, do you like it, the computer? I called you twice today. You didn't answer. Perfectly fine. That's okay. Stocks wants to take a look at Seagate. All right, we'll take a look at Seagate in a minute. Just hold on a second. Mr. English, do you know non-binary Sub-Zero? Mr. English, I'm going to say no, I don't. Sorry. All right. That takes care of that one. All right, what are we doing here? All right, I want to stop recording. Okay, fine. Bring this down here, because that's all good to go. Is it or isn't it? No, it's not good. Hold on. There we go. Fade, and there we go. All right, so now get out of the way. That works. Connected, this seems to be an issue. You get out of there. All right, I don't need you. You get out of there. Log off. Steve, good evening. All right, I'm just trying to get set up. What are we looking at? I don't want that one. And it's not even freaking moving on me. Oh, I hate to have to shut my computer down and reboot. That'd be horrible. Anthony, when you buy stocks, you lose more than you get back. Well, Anthony, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I'm sorry you've had that experience. It's not the experience I've had, but okay. Sergio, good evening, Sergio. And Rizzo, what's happening? All right, so I'm going to try to figure this out here. I don't want to see this. All right, that worked. What I do want to see is this one. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want right there. That's the one I want. That's the one I want. And there we have it. Alrighty. So we seem to be up. Scotty Cook. Sorry, I didn't see. I missed the call. I'll be ready tomorrow. Yeah, actually, believe it or not, you actually got to send me your phone number again because I dial a phone number and then I delete it. I don't save till I get way too many people calling me, way too many people want me to call on a regular basis. So if you want me to call, okay, and I do call, if you don't answer, well, you got to kind of throw your number in there again. So I'll call again. But I do call. All right, so let's see what we're doing. See what we're doing. Lion Lover, hi. Do you have any advice? Yes, I have great advice. You ready? Don't stick your head out too far. It might go home in another car. All right, you don't like that one? My girlfriend broke up with me. Here's the thing, okay? There are billions of people on the planet. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to women. I'm 61 years old. I still don't have them figured out. So, you ladies, try not to get too upset with what I'm about to say. Now, if that girlfriend broke up with you, why did she break up with you? What did you do wrong? Okay? And what is it that you didn't do that made her want to leave? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that one. I haven't had very good success with women. Haven't. It is what it is. I move too fast. Some women like that. Some women don't. Okay? You can either call her up and explain it to her and apologize, or you can learn from your mistakes and move on to the next one. And this has nothing to do with stocks and investing, so I wish you the best on that one. Okay? Tree Rogi, is that right? Tree Rogi. Okay, Trump number one, thank you for your input. However, I don't do politics here, so please, let's leave the politics alone. A lot of people don't want to hear what I'm saying. Okay? All right, so when it comes to politics, I'm what you call, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm what you would call a common senser. If it makes common sense, if it's logical and it makes sense, yeah, I'm all for it. Okay? All right, so just curious. Good evening. Jake Danish, good evening to you. Dino Lazzi, cool beans. Okay, so let's get started, see what's going on. You guys get to hit me up with some good stocks for us to take a look at, because if not, I'm just going to pull up my stuff, and you might not want to see what I'm doing. Simone is in the house. All righty. Now, yeah. All right, so let's keep on progressing. Let's get this crap out of my way. Interesting stuff going on today in the world, so I just got to get reorganized. All right, so that being said, Lion Lover, okay, I'm glad you're okay with that advice. You don't want to take advice from me seriously, especially when it comes to women. I seem to screw up everything. Princess, how did voting for Trump make sense? Please do not go into politics. You honestly don't want to hear my take on it. Okay, our dumb ideas. Would have sent a stock, didn't know that's what you wanted. Okay, our dumb ideas, what we're doing here. We are investing in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. I'm looking for 1% a week. 1% a week is over 50% per year. But compounded, you can actually double your money in 14 to 16 months. That Silver Guy, your 4-strike rule helped. Many of my options are in the money. Cool beans. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but all right. Hoping they come down tomorrow. Here's the thing, Silver Guy. Okay, if they're in the money, depending on where you bought, what strike price you sold, for which date. Was it for this week? Was it for next week? Whatever week it was for, whatever you collected, it's always going to come out to be a numbers game. Okay, what's never going to change is what you paid. Whatever you paid for the stock is never ever going to change unless you dollar cost average down. And if you know what that is, well then that might be helpful. But if you don't know what that is, well, here's the thing. if you buy stock at $100 and it drops down to 50, well, you buy more at 50. Now your dollar cost average is 75 rather than 100 and then 50. Two separate ones. So that's how you dollar cost average. But it helped because they absorbed majority of the jump, cool beans, but most are in red. Could have been worse. Absolutely could have been worse. I got 2 margin calls in my Robinhood account, one on Friday and one on Monday. And I had to do some weird stuff to figure out how to get out of that, which I did. But at the end of business today, I'm looking at my account and it doubled. And I think, I didn't do something that spectacular. What the hell was up? But I didn't take a good look at it. Okay? So anyway, as I was saying, Silver Guy, figure out what did you buy it for? How long ago did you buy it? How many premiums did you bring in? Did you bring in any dividends? What is the profit and loss on that position? If so, okay, if you're at a point, well, should you push it forward into next week or the week after? Now, one of my accounts, I was so far in the red, I had to push it out into June. So I'm not going to be looking at any money whatsoever until June with those particular stocks. Okay. Bluey, what's the 4-strike rule? Ooh, that's that new age baseball. Okay. So if you swing, you miss 3 strikes, usually you're out. Well, no, here we allow you 4 strikes and then you're out. No, you don't buy that one? No. Okay, so what he means by 4 strikes. Okay, let's take a look at an example. We're looking at Riley at the moment. Well, let's look at the whole thing on Riley. Here we go. All right, I want to look at this week. I want to look at next week. Next week is the 17th. There we go. Okay, so. All righty. Angie's here. Cool beans. Silver Guy. Good one. Good. All right. So the 4-strike rule. Anytime you buy a stock, okay? Anytime. Whatever you buy it for, that is going to be, let's call it your entry price. Okay? Let's call this a merry-go-round or a Ferris wheel or some kind of a carnival ride. Your entry price into the big tent circus fun, whatever you want to call it, is the purchase price. Right now, we're looking at Riley. Let's back up on Riley for a second. Let's back up on Riley for a second. So here's Riley. This one will make your toes curl. A year ago, Riley's at $25. Then she jumps up to $40. Now, in the beginning of May, this thing's at $40 last year. And then it goes from $40 all the way down to $3. But not really, because look at the actual bottom. The actual bottom for today was $267. Now, can you imagine buying a stock at $40 in the low of the year is $267? That would make me even uncomfortable. Okay, so I have a rule, never sell at a loss. Well, that one would make me a little uncomfortable. So here comes the 4-strike rule. You ready? Hold on a second. We got some answers over here. Hey, Lisa M's in the house. Okay, Rooster, hold on a second. I sent Dollar General. Did you see it? Okay, what do you think about Dollar General? I'm thinking buying 100 shares. Okay, Rooster, I see it right there. I moved too fast. Got it. All right, yeah, I saw it. Oh, that was sweet that your wife brought you some tea. Okay, thank you. Rooster, yes. Thank you, Lisa. I guess he is ignoring me. Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to leave. No, he isn't. He's just going down the line. He has like 6 phones. Well, when she says I have 6 phones, only because I don't know how to use the software in my computer. Now, the software is broadcasting to 3 channels, 4 channels, but I have 6 phones. So this one's my reserve for TikTok. This one's for YouTube. This one's for TikTok. That one's for Instagram. That one's for Facebook. And that one can't get the freaking thing to work right. But besides the point. I don't ignore the questions. I just have too much input coming in. So I always ask, please do me a favor. I will. Okay, listen closely, Rooster, and everybody else. I will, before the night is over, answer each and every individual question. Now, I can guarantee you with almost 100% certainty, I won't answer it as fast as you want me to, because you got to remember, you got a bunch of different channels and there's a whole bunch of people here. So I see them and I try to answer the questions as they pop up to the best of my ability. Now, I admit I do fall short quite often. So a lot of my exes will tell you I fell short a lot. Prudential, we're going to say no to Prudential right off the top, Wolf. Only reason is Prudential is a monthly optionable stock. I'm going to get to that in a minute, so just sit tight. Lazar, how you doing today? KG, in the house, way to go. Now, EPD, I'll take a look at that one, but not Prudential, because I know that one's not quite right. Jay wants to look at RTX. No, I like RTX, I do. Okay, you Martil, 1. Finish the lyrics. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times. Drawing a blank on that one. Black Air Force Energy. Do you think a t-shirt with a necklace design would sell well? So far, I just think the cross would sell, and that wouldn't be worth the money in from my end on the financial cost. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what you want me to say to that one, because I don't sell t-shirts and I don't really buy t-shirts. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how I can help you out there. So Wolf, when I say no to Prudential, let's pull up Prudential here for a second so I can show you why I say no to Prudential. Oh, wait a second. Hold the phone. We haven't finished the explanation of a whole bunch of things. This is what happens when you get older and you have ADD. You have a tendency to forget things. And I do. So remember when I said I created this strategy for my 9-year-old daughter? Okay, in 2008, she said, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? I wasn't expecting it. So to teach a 9-year-old, number one, it has to be simple. It has to be safe, because we all know if she loses, all right, and if it's not safe and simple, she's going to cry. I'm going to feel like crap. Mama's going to get involved. I'm sleeping on the couch. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. So it had to be simple and safe. Okay, the profits had to be predictable and consistent. And then lastly, number 5, had to be no way that she could lose, because we all know what would happen up there. Jim Bowman, how you doing? Rudely. Interesting name, Rudely, but okay, you know. So here's the thing. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. So I had to come up with 5 rules to keep her focused, because she's just like me, squirrel. Anyway, number 1, 5 rules. You ready? Rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand or you don't know or you do not want to hold it for the rest of your life. Let's try Facebook one more time. If you don't understand it, don't buy it. Okay? If it doesn't make sense, don't buy it. Pretty simple, right? You would think. Okay? But as we progress through the night, you're going to get a lot of hell no and what the hell are you thinking? You're going to get a lot of that, because that's just the way it is. Okay? It's just not freaking working. Rule 2. Okay, rule 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to for the rest of your life. Rule 2, never sell at a loss, or I should say, try not to sell it. If I say never sell at a loss, there better be a really good reason why you're selling for less than you paid for it. Can you discuss some exit strategies and scenarios? What is rolling over and how do you do it? Okay, we're going to get to that in a little bit. Daniel, I saw that email you just sent me. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys are going to send me an email, it actually pops up on my phone while I'm talking. So Daniel just sent me an email. Thank you, Daniel. 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the game. Rule 3. This is a big one. And it sounds so simple and so elementary, it boggles my mind when people don't get it right. Rule number 3, make sure the company is consistently profitable. Okay, now a lot of people have a different idea when they think profitability. They think 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Yeah, no. I'm saying 2 decades. That's 20 years. Now, the stock market has been around for 400 years. So finding a few decent companies that have been profitable for 20 years shouldn't be that difficult. And it's not. You just got to know where to look, and you're going to need to know what to look for. So consistency of profitability, that's rule number 3. Rule number 4, remember when I said I want weekly cash flow, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week? Weekly, which means I have 2 opportunities here. One, a company that has weekly options, okay, because I can trade them every single week. Or 2, sitting in front of my computer looking for setups for me to trade. Yeah, no, that ain't working. I ain't sitting in front of the computer for anything. I jump in the morning and do my trades. Now, when I say you got to change a few things in your life, if you want to get 1% every single week, you got to make one small adjustment. You add a new routine to your morning schedule or your evening schedule, however you want to do it. But to your daily routine, you got to do something different, which means you got to open up your computer, look at your money. It's like a garden. If you don't take care of your garden, weeds will take over. If you don't keep your eye on your children, who knows what the hell they're going to be doing? Okay, so just like anything else, as an adult, it is another responsibility. Yeah, baby is in the house. Woohoo! Way to go. All right, Lisa M. And regarding book price, should the book price be at least as high as the share price? Or can it be slightly lower? Or is it better to be higher? Lisa, that is going to be a call that you have to make on your own. Now, the reason why I say that, I do some stocks where the book price is 1/2 or 1/3 or 1/4 of the stock price. Because if the company is consistently profitable, there are a few leeways that you can give. All right. And it's always going to be a personal preference. And I always look at the extreme. Okay, what are the extremes? Well, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I consider as an extreme. A lot of people are excited about it. A lot of people love it. Well, the book value on NVIDIA is like $3, $3.74, I think it was. The dividends for NVIDIA is 1 penny. So explain to me in a manner which I'll understand why somebody would pay $130 per share to collect 1 penny dividend every 90 days. Well, they're not doing it for the dividend, and they're not doing it for the book value. They're doing it. Alexa, off. Don't want to compete with her. The fundamentals of the company. What's the cash flow? What's the book value? What's the absolute worst case scenario if I invest my hard-earned money into this company? So when it comes to book value, make it something that you're okay with. Now, we looked at Ford, we looked at General Motors. Okay, now Ford, the book value is higher than the stock price. General Motors, the book value is higher than the stock price. Well, those are great opportunities. Those are great examples. But you have some companies, like NVIDIA, where the stock is 130 and the book value is only $3 or $3.74, whatever it is. And the income coming in per share is less than $10. Well, look at General Motors. Well, matter of fact, you know what? Let's look at General Motors because it's one of my favorites. It is. Okay, so I have not forgotten about the 4-strike rule. I haven't forgotten about that. We're going to get that in a minute. But look at General Motors. We're going to do a little bit, something a little bit different. So let's get out of here. All right. I want you to pay attention to some of these numbers. Now, pay attention to some of the numbers. Stock price, $45. I'm going to write it down because my memory is not as good as it used to be. Stock price, $45.74. It's right there. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's what it is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Here we are right here, $45.74. right now. That's where we're at right now. That's the current price right now. How many times am I going to say that? Right now, right now, right now, right now. Okay, anyway. What's the premium? Now, for those of you guys just starting out in this journey with covered calls, now a covered call is one of the safest trading strategies, one of the safest trading strategies there is. The safest one is just buying the stock, but there's no profitability in buying a stock because you don't profit until you sell something. So just buying doesn't really make you any money, but a covered call does. And I'm going to explain the further we go on. Wait a second, let me finish up the 5 rules. I'm like all over the place. I am. Number 1, don't buy anything you don't understand. Number 2, never sell at a loss. Number 3, consistency of profitability. Number 4, weekly options only. If it doesn't have weekly options, it's automatically a no. That's a no. Can we all say that? That's a no. If no weekly options, no. No dividends, no. It's a simple rule. Rule number 5, make sure the numbers work. We're also going to talk about that also. I like to cover everything every single night. Now, some of it may be repetitive, and maybe some of you need to hear things over and over and over again. Rebel, where are you from? My mother. It's a horrible thing to say. Anyway, let's keep on going. So, pay attention to these numbers because we're still on that question about book value. Okay, so Lisa, still on a question about book value. General Motors at 45.74. Now, if I'm going to buy it and sell a covered call, well, the 45s are going for $1.84. Okay, that's over 3%. Now, I don't know if you can do math right off the top of your head real quick, but 1% a week is 50% a year. 2% a week is over 100% a year. 3% a week is over 150% a year. So it depends on what you want to do. So we're adding in a new 5 or 10 minute ritual for your daily routine. Jump in, take a look at your companies, take a look at your stocks. Where is your money? Okay? So that's General Motors. Now I want to go to Yahoo Finance and I want to put in General Motors because I want to prove a point. Now, everybody, if you are going to trade and you are going to be serious about taking care of your own money, because you have 2 options and only 2. Don't let anyone kid you. You have 2 opportunities, only 2. 1, invest the money yourself. Take responsibility for your own money. That's number 1. Number 2, say, I don't want to do it. You do it. Give it to someone else. I'm sure a lot of people will be happy to invest your money for you for a fee. You can't forget that part. No money manager, no account manager, no investment advisor is going to work for free. Okay, do it yourself. Give it to someone else to do. Daniel, bad echo. Uh-oh. Daniel said there's a bad echo. Shit, bad echo, bad echo. Let's try this out. Hold on a second there, Daniel. Tra-la-la. It doesn't say like it's a bad echo in here. What microphone am I using? Audio input. Okay, let's get rid of the audio input. Okay, let's try the audio input one more time. Audio input. Okay. Default microphone webcam. Yep, that's the one right there. And okay. And testing 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that's better. Audio is fine. Yeah, okay. All right. Hold on a second. Now, Lead Sponge, you're on TikTok. Okay. So yeah, the audio on TikTok is coming from my phone, but the audio on YouTube is coming from the computer. All right. So it's kind of strange because I got 2 YouTube channels. One YouTube channel is here, which the audio is coming from there. But the other YouTube channel, the audio is coming from there. Okay, so I got 7 cameras going and about 8 channels. So I got stuff coming from everywhere. All right? There's no echo. I got that one. Marv. Ooh, the Eye of Ra. Ooh, gotta like that one. Peacock. No, it's not. All right. Marv, good evening. Lead Sponge, good evening. Not now over there. It's fine. There is no echo. All right. Leadscape audio is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, yeah. See, you guys are hearing on TikTok. Okay, Edward, you too. You're hearing on TikTok. Now, the screen here behind me is live on YouTube. Okay, so anything that I say is not going on the microphones here. Okay, all the different iPhones I have running. It's going on the microphone down there on the computer. So it's a different microphone, different service. It's coming in from a different place. Okay, that being said. All right, so we're looking at the statistics for General Motors because we're talking to Lisa about the book value. Now, we're going to look at both NVIDIA and we're going to look at General Motors. Now, based on strictly the numbers, you guys got to figure out what you think is best. Marv, good evening. Okay, so here we go. General Motors. Now, I do suggest if you are going to be investing your own money, if you are going to be investing, you need to have at your little fingertips a financial website where you can do your research. Because most brokerages or most places where trading platforms don't have the details that would be a good idea for you to look into. So let's take a look at General Motors. First and foremost, I want to look at the statistics. Got to move that drink out of the way. Okay, so statistics. Profit margin 3.2, return on equity. Okay, right here. Check this out right here. Revenue per share. That's how much money is coming in as opposed to how many shares they have outstanding. So General Motors has been in business for over 100 years. You'd think that they have a lot of shares outstanding. But look at the revenue per share. $168 per share. That's how much per share the revenues come in for General Motors. Okay, let's go a little bit further down. Book value per share, $63. Now the stock price is only $45. So what does book value mean? Well, book value means plain and simple. If the Supreme Court says you guys got to divest and pay back all your investors, well, guess what you're getting? You're getting $63 per share if the company liquidates, because everything they own opposed to everything they owe. Well, this is the bottom line right there, $63 per share. That's General Motors. Now look over here. Forward annual dividend yield, 1%. All right. That kind of sucks if you think about it. I mean, seriously, 1% per year kind of sucks. It does. But, hold on a second. Let's put in NVIDIA. NVDA. All right. Now, for those of you who like NVIDIA, you're about to get some news that you probably haven't seen before. Okay, so NVIDIA is down to $112 per share. Only $112 per share. But look at the revenue per share. Revenue per share. That's how much money do they have coming in as opposed to how many shares are outstanding. $5.31 per share. So every single share they have out there, only $5.31 is coming in. But hold on, it gets worse. Book value per share, $3.24. So the Supreme Court says, hey, NVIDIA, you got to liquidate and pay off all your investors. You pay $112 per share, guess what you're getting back? You're getting $3.24. Worst case scenario, okay? Take a look at the dividend. Forward dividend yield, 0.04. Now, General Motors has 1%. That kind of sucks. What do you think 0.04 is? That's beyond worse. All right, anyways, that just gives my opinion on book value. So does it really matter what the book value is? Kind of yes, kind of no. Absolute worst case scenario, what are you going to get? Is the company overpriced? Well, NVIDIA, hell yeah. Okay, in my humble opinion. People still like it because it has a nice product and it just keeps going through the roof. Not what I'm looking for. My interest mainly consistency of profitability, safety, and predictability. Okay, sorry, I'm 61. I'm retired. I have no desire to go back to work in case I have to. If I have to, fine, I will, but I don't want to. I don't want to, and you can't make me. Anyway, let's keep on going. So that's my opinion for book value. All right, so I don't know if that's going to mean anything or not. All right, so let's start looking at some stocks. Wait a second. We got a couple more questions. Put my trust in General Motors. Sorry, my sentence cut off there. All right. Edward, we hear you. Good evening. Marv, good evening. Nagayan Engak. Okay. Mel, 100%. Good evening. Uncertain Future. Good evening. Barry. Afternoon, Barry. Barb Schmidt. Good evening. Marco Pacheco. Okay, hopefully I said that right. Okay, Scott, I haven't forgot you in the exit scenarios. Let's keep going back a little bit. At least in regarding book value, we did that one on point. Got that one, Mike. New Hampshire Funny Farm. Good evening. Brent, not here. DJT baby, too new, doesn't have any dividends whatsoever. Thank you for so much of your very detailed description. It really helps me understand. Well, that's what, Rad Fit's back in the house again. Hold on a second. I gotta, I gotta get and check my scruples and my morals. Now is a great time to take your retirement out of the market and give it to your children so they can buy a home and start a family. Or you can give it to your third wife for a cruise. Well, I don't even have a second wife. So much for a third wife. As for my children, I already helped my 2 boys buy a house. Okay? Now my 2 girls, they have a choice. House or a wedding. You ain't getting both. It's one or the other. And 2, do not tell me how to spend my time and my money. I find it very rude and very inconsiderate. Okay? I've worked since 1973 to get to where I am, and I don't need somebody like you telling me how I should spend my time and my money. But thank you for your input. Mel, I thought last night you said you don't use WhatsApp or Telegram to communicate. Well, Mel, and I'm going to say it again, I don't use WhatsApp. I don't use Telegram. Okay? So I'm not quite sure, Mel, who you were talking to, but I can guarantee you 100% it wasn't me. Okay? Now, when I tell people, if you want to talk to me, seriously, if you want to talk to me, DM me with your phone number. It goes for you too, Radfit. You want to talk and tell me how I should live my life? Fine. Send me your number. I will give you a call. But I don't do WhatsApp and I don't do Telegram. Plain and simple. You have to get a mod and kick people out for the nonsense messages. Okay, Luigi, you've been here for a while. Okay, I like to have somebody here for at least 2-3 months before I give them moderation abilities. So hang out. I'll give it to you in a little bit. Bluey, thank you for that. I sold $22 premium calls on SCHG at $25 strike price. What do I do now? It's almost 25. Okay. Number one, you weren't listening to a word I said, because I'm pretty sure SCHG. Let's check it out. SCHG. Well, number one, I don't do monthlies, which this is a monthly. Okay, so you sold a $22 premium call. Now, did you do it for this month or do you do it for next month? because you didn't do a weekly because SCHG doesn't have weeklies. So it was either this month or next month. Ending Friday. No, because SCHG ends on the 17th, which is next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. Okay? Or it is the 16th of May, which is 37 days away. But I don't do SCHG because it has monthly options, and that doesn't work for me. I like weeklies because I want a weekly paycheck, not a monthly paycheck. All right, so you sold the 22s, and now it's almost 25. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what I would do. Considering it hit its bottom on Monday, yesterday was higher, and today was a big jump. All right? Your average move was right around here between 25 and 27. 25 and 26.50, somewhere in that area right there. Okay, but you're here. Okay, now you have 8 days left until this option expires, which is next Friday. So it could keep going up, but with a big day like today, normally with big moves like this, normally there's a pullback. Normally. So if there's a pullback tomorrow or Friday, that gives you actually a pullback between tomorrow and next Friday. So you got like 8 days to make a move on this thing before you're actually in trouble. But to find out exactly where you are when you sold that 22, what did you sell it for? Okay, so whatever premium you sold it for, you add it to the premium, the 22. What did you collect? Okay, whatever it was, you got to figure out where is your break even. So worst case scenario or best case scenario, you take it and you roll it into a next option and you collect another premium. So if you sold, hold on a second. Holy cow. They don't even have a 22 on this thing. Okay, look at the strike prices. 20, 21, 25, 22.50, 22.75, 23, 23.25. So I can't help you because you're not giving me accurate numbers. Because you say you sold the 22 premium. Well, there isn't a 22 premium. Okay, and you're also doing one that I would never do because I don't do monthlies because monthlies just don't make sense. The numbers just don't work. So I don't want to be a dick and saying what you're telling me is not coming out right because there is no 22s for SCHG. All right, so let's keep on moving along. Righty, Luigi, you have to get a moderator. All right, I got that one. Where do you did that one? All right, Bluey, if you really want to chat, send me a number. I'll give you a call. We'll talk about it. Mel, 100%. I think someone is using your name to scam individual on TikTok. Mel, yeah, there's 30 of them. Okay, if you look close enough, if you do a search on TikTok for dividend stock talk, and then use all the different variables of spelling the word dividend stock talk, you'll get about 30 people pretending to be me. Using my videos, using my images, using my words. But what they don't do is they don't actually call you if you leave your phone number. So if you got someone who says, hey, I got a great deal for you, fine, play along. Wonderful, great. Walk me through it. Send me your phone number and I'll call you. Because I have no problem whatsoever calling anybody. I love talking to people. I do. I'm retired and this is what I'm chosen to give back to society. Everything I learned. So you guys are getting this for free. So Mel, 100%, more than likely you've been hooked by a scammer. All right. Bluey, no one should be expected to give their money to their kids. Thank you, Bluey. I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, that was Radfit over on YouTube. Yep. She wants to help me spend my money because she thinks I'm doing it wrong. Audio is fine. Okay, Marco wants to take a look at Dover, D-O-V. Well, let's take a look at Dover. I haven't looked at Dover in a long time. So let's go take a look at it. Scott, I still have not forgotten you about the exit strategies. Okay. What are we looking at? Dover, D-O-V, D-O-V. Dover. There it is, Dover. Very first thing I always want to see, the high, the low, where was it, where is it? And it's a monthly, so we're going to say no. That's why we haven't looked at Dover in a while. Okay, so Marco, there's a reason why I don't do monthly optionable stocks. Okay, because look at the numbers. 17 April, which is next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. 16 May, which is 37 days away. That's 5 weeks away. So how are you going to figure out on choosing where the stock is going to be in 5 weeks? And here, 8 days. Okay, well, that's only 1 week. How are you going to be able to figure that? Well, that's not that difficult. But right now it's at 165. The 165 is going for $4. Well, that's a nice premium. It kind of is. If you like Dover, of course. No, I don't do monthlies because the numbers don't work, but apparently that number is working if you like Dover. So let's take a look at it. The high of the year, 223. Okay. A year ago, we're sitting at 177. Last 90 days. Okay, here's the last 90 days. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the movement. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. All right, the last 30 days. Okay, here's your last 30 days. 30 days ago, we're at 180. Shoots on up to 186, drops down to 145. That's a $40 drop, somewhere in that area. And then 2 days to the upside, Tuesday and Wednesday, today. Look at the big jump here. When you have big jumps like that, there's usually profit taking, unless something really interesting happened. Which the last 3 or 4 days, interesting. Okay, totally different. The numbers you're seeing nowadays, we probably won't see those again after the market, levels out and everything goes back to normal. But here's the thing. Okay, it's at 165.86. So if I buy it at so right now it says 167.92. It's actually trading now, so we can't really use those numbers. The 165. So the 165 is going for 440. But it's 2 weeks. And if I'm wrong, I have to hold it for another 4 weeks. And it doesn't make me happy. So I usually don't do monthlies. Marco, yes, sir. No, I thought last night you said you don't. Yeah, I don't. Bluey, I sold. Yep, we already talked about that one. I think someone's using my tone. Yep. No one should be. Okay, got that one too. Bluey, sorry. Ending Friday. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Dave Brown. Good evening, Dave Brown. And how are you today? Monthlies have a weekly 1x month. Okay, FH, you got to be more specific with that. Okay, Bluey, you said you sold the $25 strike. You told me you sold the 22. Hold on, where is it? Okay. I sold a $22 premium call for SCHG at $25 strike price. What do I do now? It's almost 25. That makes no sense. Okay, you either sold the 22s or you sold the 25s. Because it says I sold a $22 premium call for SCHG at $25 strike price. Okay, make up your mind. Which one was it? Antoine! I got Mara and Intel. It went over both. It went up over both, letting them go and buying them later. Cheap is okay. Okay, Antoine, do me a favor, dude. Tomorrow morning, ask me. So Antoine is part of my morning trading group, so he can ask questions. Antoine, tomorrow I will take a look at your account and show you what you did or what the possibilities are. I can't do it for you, but I can show you certain things because what you're saying kind of makes sense, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. So tomorrow morning, remind me, towards the end of the show tomorrow, we'll take a look at your account and see exactly what you did and how can we keep it from losing. Okay? Lisa, when you roll an option forward to the next week, do you get the premium for the week that you were going to do and the premium for the week that you're moving forward to? Absolutely. That's one of the beauties of, excuse me. Sorry, Lisa. That's one of the beauties of rolling forward an option. Now we're going to do an example because Scotty over here wants to take a look at an example also, how to roll forward an option once you buy it or once you sell it. Okay, let's keep on going. Free speech and other stuff is in the house. Ending Friday. Thank you. Monthlies. Okay, FH. Monthlies have a weekly 1x month. Ha. Okay, see, FH, I have no idea what that means. No, I sold the $25 strike. Okay. Joshua, good evening. Bluey, it was $25. I collected 22. Well, that's a color of a different horse, dude. Hold on a second. I forget which one we're looking at. Okay, I say it every night. Don't get old. It's not as glamorous as people think. SCHG. Okay, she just came to me. SCHG. Okay. All of them. Okay. Here it is right here. Ugh, that sucks. The $25 call strike. Well, right now it's at $24.85. If you sold the 25s, well, you can push it into next week and pick up another premium. So basically what you'd be doing is you'd be buying this one back and then you'd be selling the next one, which is 5 weeks away, dude. 5 weeks. So next week's 25 is going for 75. Yeah, that doesn't look very that profitable. Because look at it. This one is selling for 75. And this 25, you got to buy it back for 65. So what are you profiting? You're profiting 10 cents a share. Well, that sucks. Well, it's at 24.85 at the moment. So you're not at risk of losing anything until the stock goes above 25.22. Because you said you got 22 premium on it. Okay, for the $25 strike price. Because you got to get the terminology right. The $25 strike price, and you collected 22-cent premium. So you take the premium, you add it to the strike price, and your break even is going to be $25.22. So until it reaches that point, you're basically safe. So keep an eye on it. Once it goes over 25, then you need to roll it forward so you don't lose anything. Okay, because I'm not quite sure where you jumped in. Because where did you jump in? What did you sell? What did you collect? What's the expiration date? And what's the value at the moment? All these numbers come into play somewhere. And you got to know how to throw them together. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. All right, so at least we're going to get that. Okay, thank you. That really helped because I'm so confused by that. LA Soundwave, what are you doing over here, dude? What's happening in Hollywood? All right, Hollywood's in the house. Okay, so What are we looking at next? All right. Get out of that. Alrighty. More questions, more questions, more questions. Thank you for Bluey. Thank you for trying. Well, Bluey, it's a lot easier. Seriously, it's a lot easier if I can see your account and see what's going on. Okay? Terry Smith Sr., how are you doing today? Do you have to own on the EX date or before to collect payment? Now, Terry, are we talking about payment as the premium from selling a covered call, or are we talking about the dividend payment? You got to be more specific. Gen XJ asked me about QQQI last night. I said no, 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 hell no. But he's asking again, so we're going to take a look at it. And Gen XJ, I'm going to explain to you why I don't like QQQQQQQI. All right, here we go. QQQI. First and foremost, Gen XJ. It's a monthly optionable stock. 17 April, 16 May, 15 August, 21 November. Now that basically means I can only trade it once a month. So trading it once a month, what am I going to get? 12, 24% a year? Okay, that's not that bad if you think about it. But I'm looking for 1% every single week. That B guy, we'll take a look at stocks in a little bit, but right now we're going at QQQI. All right, so number one, Gen X. I don't like monthlies. The only way I can get weekly cash flow on a monthly optionable stock is by looking at the day trading every day. Okay, looking for a pattern that I can trade. Yeah, no thank you. But hold on, I want to show you something. Might want to change your mind about QQQI, but it is what it is. Sometimes I wonder how the hell I can see out of these things. Okay, you notice I only cleaned one lens because I'm blind in one eye. People ask me that all the time. What's wrong with your eye? Okay, anyway, so here we go. Let's take a look at QQQI. QQQI. Now, we're not going to look at that kind of information. I want to go straight to the historical data. See, over here on the left, historical data. I want to find out exactly, exactly how wonderful the dividends are on this. Okay, so here it is right here. NEOS NASDAQ 100R high income ETF. Okay, so you're giving your money to a computer. ETF, electronically traded funds. Basically, you're giving it to a computer. Okay, haven't you seen enough of the Terminator movies? I mean, seriously. 2001, A Space Odyssey, that doesn't ring a bell. Okay, AI, do you actually think all that sci-fi movies didn't have some kind of base in reality? Anyway, let's keep on going. All right, so we're going to take a look. Historical prices. I want to look at the dividends only because, as we said earlier, a profit is divided up and then allocated in certain aspects of the company. Okay, when the company makes a profit, certain part goes here, certain part goes here. The part that we're interested in is the portion of the profits that go back to the investors, also known as a dividend. So if the dividend increases every single year, well, that only means that the profits have to increase every year because they go hand in hand. If profits increase, dividends increase. If profits decrease, dividends decrease. They go hand in hand. There's no way, you cannot get one without the other. All right, so let's take a look at just the dividends for QQQQ. Wait a second, hold, wait a second. I want to see all the dividends. No. Not January 2024. I want to see 20 years of dividends. Dude, this thing doesn't have 20 years of dividends. Why the hell are you? This thing's a year old. February 2024 is the first dividend they paid. It's a year old, dude. Why are you giving your money to a 1-year-old? Now, I get it. You want capital growth, and you could care less about cash flow or whether or not they're consistently profitable. Because a 1-year-old company has no historical performance, none whatsoever. Okay, so I'm at a loss for words. Hell no. Double hell no. All right. So the B guy, SOXL, is probably going to look at the same thing. SOXL. Okay. No. Come on. All of them. All right. This one goes all the way back to 2010, which is only 15 years of dividends. Oh, no, it's not. Look at this. 2010, 2014. No 2015. 116, 117, 318. All right, well, let's take a look at the numbers. Okay, 0, 18, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4. What the hell are you thinking, dude? Seriously. This is where this part comes in. What the hell were you thinking? Seriously. Look at the profitability of this company. Or whatever the hell it is, the ETF. Okay, 18. Okay, I can live with 18. But from 18 to 1, what is that, a 97% drop? Hell no. See, sometimes it really boggles my mind where and why people invest in what they invest in. To me, it makes no sense. But here's the thing. I'm looking for something. You guys more than likely are looking for something else. I'm looking for consistency of profitability. You guys apparently aren't looking for profitability. You're looking for capital growth most likely because you sure as shit ain't getting profitability here. Okay, it goes from 18 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 2 to 1 to 2 to 2 to 1 to 1. Hell no. Anyway, let's keep on going. Free speech and other stuff. If I sell a covered call going out 7 to 14 days and the stock price drops, I closed after being in the trade for 5 days. Do I immediately sell another covered call and wait for the stock price to go up? Okay, apparently, from what you're saying, I can see where you could believe what it is you're saying. But no, you are totally wrong. Let me explain just briefly. I want to go to a stock that's actually halfway decent. Now, I don't mean to insult you guys in any way, shape, or form, but I'm looking for cash flow. Okay? QQQI doesn't give it to me. SOXL doesn't give it to me. I'm looking for consistency, predictability, profitability, and safety. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I've been trading for 20 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. Now, I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. I'm good at a few strategies, but this is the main one I'm really good at. Because I come from a time frame, and I was born in the 60s, raised in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay, it was great. It was wonderful. I admit it. But here's the thing. If it works, leave it alone. So I know 1% a week does not sound like a lot of money, but here's the thing with the 1%. If it takes me 10 minutes a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to manage just my account, just mine. Now, I manage more than just one. I manage about 7 or 8 accounts, but just my account, 10 minutes to gain 1%. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot until you add numbers to it. So hypothetically speaking, I have one account that's $130,000. $130,000. It's not a lot. I understand that. But 1% of $130,000 is $1,300 a week. Now, 10 minutes a day is less than 1 hour. So I'm spending about 1 hour because I do have to turn the computer on. I do have to turn the computer off. I sit there for 10 minutes. It doesn't take that long. What did I buy? What did I buy it for? Where is it? What should I do? 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day. It's 50 minutes in the week. Let's call it an hour. 1 hour, I'm getting $1,600 from just one account. That's $1,600 an hour. I can do that all week long. And I do. That's what I do. 10 minutes a day on my own personal account. 1% a week. Now that's over 50% a year. So whatever your account is, if your account's at 20 grand, 1% a week, that's gonna be at 10 grand at the end of the year. If you're at 50 grand, 1% a week would be about 25,000 a year. And it's only 10 to 15 minutes. Because it's, hey, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. Now you can look up the 10-Minute Trader. I've had that name registered for over 20 years. I'm pretty sure it's over 20 years. Anyway, let's keep on going. All right, the B guy, SOXL, please explain the pros and the cons. I don't see any pros to it whatsoever, dude. Okay, honestly, I don't. If you're okay with giving your money to a machine to invest for you, have at it. Let's go back to SOXL and see exactly what they're paying out on a yearly basis. Okay, these are the dividends. All right, we know that. Those are the dividends. Yippee. All right, so let's go to the summary. The summary is going to give you an idea of what your rate of return is going to be based on the past history. All right, here it is right here. Okay, the current yield, 2.21%. 2.21%. Not for a week, not for a month, not for a quarter, for the year. Now, that B guy, why do you think that 2.21% is a good investment? Now, keep in mind that the T-bills, federal government treasury bills, are paying, I think, 5% nowadays. High yield savings account are paying over 4%. But no, you like SOXL, and that's paying 2.2%. Look at the return so far for the year. Year-to-date daily total returns, negative 69.7%. I'm confused as to why you think that's good. Because this is Yahoo Finance. This is free. This does not cost anything. You're not doing anything but wasting a little bit of a time to research where you're putting your money. Now, every week, why is that doesn't look right? Why does that not look right? That's video captured. That's not audio. Why is the audio not working? Huh. All right, whatever. Nobody said anything, so I'm assuming it's okay. So I always tell everybody, if you're going to invest money, if you are serious about growing your money, you need to have a financial website so that you can look at the details of where you're putting your money and not just listening to some salesman trying to sell you something. So Gen XJ, I have no idea what you were thinking when you bought QQQI. Okay, the B guy, SOXL, don't think you're getting off the hook, dude. Okay, 2.2%. I have no idea what you're thinking. You can put your money into a high yield savings account and get twice the amount that you're getting now. Twice the amount. All right, Bill, how old are you? Are you 27 or in your 40s? Dude, I'm 61. Okay? I ain't 27. I'm not in my 40s. I wish I was 27. Wow, I had an awesome life when I was 27. Even in my 40s was awesome. Dude, I'm 61. Heidi, good evening. Could we look at DVN? Ooh, Devon Energy. Now that's a good company. All right, what do we have over here? Okay, free speech and other stuff. Okay, I told you weren't quite right there. Let's get out of here. We don't need that anymore. But seriously, okay, guys, seriously, find a financial website. Yeah, it's going to take you a little while to navigate and to see what it is you're looking for. Or better yet, find a mentor who can teach you what to look for. Well, I have a morning trading group for $100 a month. You can ask me any question. I will guide you to everything you need to know for this one strategy. Well, in the morning trading group, we do a couple other strategies, but here, I only teach one. I got to draw the line somewhere, okay? Hope you appreciate that. All right, so that being said, where are we? Heidi wants to look at DVN. Hold on a second. Free speech and other stuff. All right, so here's the thing, free speech and other stuff. If you buy a stock, you own it, you can do whatever you want. However, when you sell a covered call to someone 7 to 14 days out, fine. You tie up that stock for 7 to 14 days. Now, you have an opportunity, if the stock goes up, to buy back that option and do whatever you want. However, when the stock price goes up, so does the option price. So if you buy AT&T at $26.47 and you sell somebody the rights to buy it from you at $26.50, which, by the way, is only 3 cents away, okay, not that big a deal. But here's the thing. You collect the premium, yay! If the stock goes from 26 to 40, well, yeah, that's a big jump. However, the option price is also going to increase. So if you try to buy it back and sell the stock to get that profit, you're not making anything. Because don't you think the market maker and the stock market has already figured that one out? As the stock prices go up and the stock prices go down, so do the options. So what is the advantage to what I'm doing? Here's the thing. If I buy AT&T at $26.47, I sell somebody the rights to buy it from me at $26.50. At this moment in time, it's going from 24 to 42, which is right around 1%. So I get that 1%, and 1% a week is over 50% per year. If the stock goes up, I get all my money back, and I get to keep that premium. If the stock drops, I still keep the premium. I still have the stock. I still collect the dividends on the stock, and I can write another covered call next week. So selling a covered call and then buying it back and trying to sell it again, it's a pointless endeavor. Okay, so as the stock prices go up, you have to pay more to buy that option back, and it just defeats the purpose. See, the purpose here is consistency of cash flow. Okay? Okay, Heidi, we're going to look at DVN in a second. Hold tight. One stake. Did your covered call get wrecked by the massive market upturn? No, not at all. Buy and hold stock tips. Ooh, Seagate. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Hold up. Ross Sky. What happens when China starts to drop its $8 billion U.S. bonds it says it holds? So, let me see if I understand this correct. The U.S. is in debt by $36 trillion, and you think $800 billion is going to make a dent? Think about it this way. 36 trillion. Okay, so we lose 800 billion. So we're still in debt 35 trillion. Yeah, when you get to the T's and the B's, the numbers just don't seem to make sense anymore, Ross. Okay, but here's the thing. China can do whatever they want. But I honestly, ask yourself this question, Ross. Do you honestly think for one iota of a second, okay, China dumps all these 800 billion stocks. Do you think that Coca-Cola is not going to make Coca-Cola anymore? Do you think Ford Motor Car Company, who's been in business for over 100 years, do you think they're just going to close up and say, we're not going to make cars anymore? Okay, we have companies that have been in business for 100 years and a few that over 100 years. Okay, Consolidated Edison has been in business for over 200 years. Do you honestly think $800 billion in bonds when we have $36 trillion in debt is really going to affect a company that's a 200-year-old and keeps producing the exact same thing year after year after year? Okay, yeah, it's going to make things a little awkward for a little bit, kind of like the last 4 or 5 days. Okay, that kind of put a little bit awkward spin on life. Okay, we had a whole list of stocks, literally a list of stocks getting ready to bump up 2 days to the upside. Perfect setup. And then everything dropped out. Okay, it's a little hiccup. Big deal. Stock market's been around for 400 years. You think this is the only time we've seen crap like this? No. You think it's the last time we're going to see it? No, we're going to see it again. All right, let's keep on going. Thank you so much for your explanation. Bluey, you're welcome. Now, Bluey, I have no problem whatsoever. Okay, any of you guys, no problem whatsoever. Drop me your phone number and I'll give you a call and we'll chat. Okay, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. You're all adults. You all know we're here. You all know, or you should have some kind of a clue. Yeah, I've written books. I have courses. I have all this kind of weird shit you can buy. If you're interested, fine. You know where to find it. It's not that difficult. But I'm not, I promise you, I'm not going to try to sell anyone. And I'm not going to give you a pitch either. Okay, so Scott, I haven't forgot you. I haven't. We're going to actually do a roll in a little bit. We're going to do a few more examples in a little bit. And we're going to take a look at a few more stocks. Now, just be leery, okay? I can't answer every single question as soon as you put up. So I get to them as soon as I can. All right, what else do we have over here? What do we, Tony Lambert, how are you today? All right, Dover, yes, sir. Okay. All righty. All right. All right, we already did those. Okay. Raw Sky, all right, we already did those. Uh-oh. Thanks for the explanation. You're welcome. Jelly Yoni, LLC, SCX. Can we look at that? Why? SCHX. There you go. We looked. It's going to be a no. Gary Smith, dividend payment. Andrew, Caterpillar or SNA? I like Caterpillar, but we'll take a look at Snap-on. Sorry. I'll ask better. To collect a dividend, do you have to own on or before the EX date? Ooh, Terry, that's a good question. So to qualify for a dividend, oh, by the way, SCHX is a no. I don't do monthly optionable stocks because the numbers just don't work. Okay, Jelly? Sorry, dude. Okay, so Terry, 4 dates, like you got most of them right. The announcement date, EX dividend date, the date of record, and the payment date. Okay, right down there. You can pick any one of these stocks, right? The symbol, Hormel. Dividend, 29 cents. Announcement date, 3/24. EX dividend date, 3/14. Date of record, 3/14. Payment date, 5/15. Okay, those are the dates you got to remember. Now, if you want to collect the dividend, you have to buy it before the EX date. Okay, so the EX date is the 14th, which is next Monday. So if you want to collect the dividend for Hormel, you're going to buy it on the 1st, the 3rd, the 8th, the 11th, the 10th, 31st, the 7th, any day before this date. And then you have to own it past the date of record, which years ago used to be 1 or 2 days. Nowadays, it's the same day. All right. Okay, Terry, that good? So Andrew wants to take a look at Caterpillar. Now, Caterpillar is a wonderful company. So let's take a look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar, here we go. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the movement. Down, up, down. Yeah, looking for a new bottom for Caterpillar, so it doesn't look like it's going to be that great. Ooh, well, look at that. Last 30 days, here we go. 30-day high, 30-day bottom was Monday. Tuesday was higher, Wednesday was higher. Now, you got to be careful when you're looking at stocks and you have a movement like this. She opens up at 270 and she closes at 301. That's a $30 move. There's a high probability of profit taking. Anytime you see that much volume, that much movement, you're high risk of profit taking. Okay, it's there, but it does have 2 days to the upside. So I'd be waiting for the third day. If the third day is higher, that would be a good time to jump in. But keep in mind, the bottom, 265, the current price, 301. That's 35, 36. That's $36 move. David, good evening. Okay. That's a $36 move from the 30-day bottom Monday to where we are today, $36 on a $270 stock. That's what, 12%? A 12% increase in 2 days. Well, that's freaking awesome. Are you going to jump in and take it or not? So, Andrew, I wouldn't quite jump in yet because I'd like to see what happens here because of that big move. But it does look pretty good, though. Snap-on, SNA. Okay, Snap-on's going to be a no right off the bat. No sense even looking at it. 17 April, 16 May, 20 June, 19 September. Those are monthly options, which means I can only trade it once a month. And once a month doesn't really work for me because I can't get 1% a week. So I'm looking for a 50% return. I need a... See, when you get to a certain age, retirement, you need a certain amount of money coming in on a consistent basis. So I have what? Social Security that I can collect in another 3 or 4 years? 4 years, 5 years? Unless they change it and I gotta wait longer? Yeah, and I ain't counting on Social Security. But believe it or not, there's a way for me to go into Social Security and take all my money out and me doing it myself. I think I might do that because I think I can do a better job investing my money than the government can. But that's just me. What do I know? All righty. Louis, Terry Smith. I think the day before. Correct. Yeah, I get confused. I better ask a dividend investor. Yeah. Before the EX date. Jelly, SCX, we already looked at that one. SCHX. Jelly, thank you for that. Big Meech. Tesla to the moon. Yeah, you have that one. You have fun with that one, brother. That B guy. Not here to argue. SOXL had an 8+%. I did not understand the 3X or if this stock would be consistent. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. Samurai, how often do you make 1% per week? Believe it or not, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I want to show you something. So far, this year, we are in week number 15. Okay, week number 15. Okay, so here are my weekly trades as of 2025. Okay, all the way back to week number 1. Okay, week number 1, December 30th to January 3rd. That's week number 1. All right, for 4.2, 1.8, 6.1, 1.8, 1.7, 2.3, 1.8, 3.6, blah, 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 blah. However, I did miss twice. Where is it? I think it was week 13, week 12. Yep, right there. Week 12. All right. March 17th to the 21st. Account number 3, 2.15. Account number 2, 0.62. I only made $1,100 that week. Boo-hoo for me. Okay, only 0.62. Account number 1, I only made $800. Again, boo-hoo for me. All right, so yeah, so far this year we're in week number 15. 2 times. March 17th or 21st, which is week 12, I think. Yep. Week 12, first quarter. Okay, only made 800 this week, which is 0.39. I only made 1,100 here, 0.62. Other than that, every single week with every single account, I made over 1%. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's get out of there. Out of there. Yay. Alrighty. Lorenzo, thank you for that. High Watt W, good evening. Larry G. Bluey, Bluey wants to take a look at Pfizer. All right, we'll take a look at Pfizer. Give me a second. Let's go jump on over to YouTube, see what we got over there. Can't see your back screen. What are you using to screen divide history, and how are you finding those consistent dividend paying stocks? Oh, Renhit Shamar. Okay, Renhit Shamar. Okay, how am I finding the dividend stocks? I hope you guys got a pencil, piece of paper handy. You ready? Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Ready? Dividend Kings. 54 companies that have increased their dividends for more than 5 decades. Dividend Aristocrats. 67 companies that have consistently increased their dividends. Dividend Champions. 150 companies that have consistently increased their dividends for more than 25 years. Dividend Contenders, list number 4. 300 companies that have consistently increased their dividends for more than 10 to 24 years. Not quite at the 25-year level, but getting close. And then just for the fun of it, we're going to take a look at everything Warren Buffett's doing. Just for the fun of it. Okay? Because if it's good enough for Warren Buffett, good enough for me. That's my philosophy. So that's where I get the dividend stocks from. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders. Go right to Google. Go right to Bing. Whatever search engine you use. Dividend Kings list 2025. There's a bunch of people out there that keep track of these things. So I don't have to. Okay? But it's free. You go there, it's free. You get the list for free. I love free. Free is one of my favorite things. Let's keep on going. Lisa, I don't remember the person's name, but they wanted to know something about 4 strikes. Yep, we haven't forgotten the 4 strikes yet. I think that's what it was. What is that? Okay, hold on. We're going to get to that in a minute. Zizo, how much do you make a day trading? Do you swing trade or day trade? I do neither one of those, okay? I trade weekly, and I trade dividend stocks, and I use a strategy called the covered call. Number 1, I only want companies that are consistently profitable. Those are those dividend companies I told you about, okay? If they're consistently profitable, great. And then I want to look at the chart. Is the chart telling me it's the right time to buy? Because stocks do 2 things and only 2 things. Okay, number 1, they do not come to the house and take the dog out for a walk. I've been waiting for weeks. Nobody ever showed up. They don't make dinner. They don't make my bed. They don't pick out my clothes and for me to wear the next day. Nope. Stocks go up. Stocks go down. That is all they do. They don't do anything other than go up and down. The idea is to pick right at the right time. So look, it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, big drop, down, up, down, up, down. That's all they do. The idea is to get it at the right time. Because when a stock goes up, say from the low here at 329, the high was 365. So 329 to 365, that's a big jump. So what do you think is going to happen? No, seriously, think about it. If you bought Snap-on at $3.29 and a couple of days later and you look and it's at $3.65, what are you going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell, take my profits and say, thank you. Because as soon as the profit taking starts, the stock drops again. And it gets down to a point where people like me and some of you in the audience say, holy cow, look, it's at $3.29. I'm going to buy some. That's how it goes. We got thousands upon thousands of people watching all this stuff. Okay? As a matter of fact, 583,000 shares traded today. But that's what Snap-on, that's a company that nobody's really heard of. Well, let's take a look at one that they have heard of. Ford Motor Company. 190, listen closely, 199 million shares traded today on Ford Motor Company. 199 million. That's a lot. So yeah, when the stocks go up, people take profits. The stock drops. It gets down to a certain point and people say, holy cow, Ford at $9? Yeah, I'm going to buy some. And yeah, Ford went to $9 and I did buy some because it's Ford and it's $9. And the book value is higher than the stock price. The earnings per share, the revenue per share is more than the stock price. So yeah, of course I'm going to buy it. It gets up to a certain point. Let's zoom in. Okay. You buy here at 9. It jumps up to 10. You get rid of it. Now, from 9 to 10 is only $1. That's not a lot. Oh, yes, it is. Because a $9 stock that jumps up to 10, that's a 10% jump. How often have you got 10% in a week? Well, that's what happens. Jumped up 10%. Great, take the profits, it dropped. And it went from here, from $9.50 up to $10.50, which is another $1, which is another 10%. So yeah, people take profits, then it goes back up, another 10%, great. Okay, it's not just the movement, it's the percentage of the movement that you got to keep your eye on. Okay, number one, pick a good company. That's number one. Pick a good company. How difficult is that? Now, just to let you know, Bree, how you doing? Just to let you know, every single week I check how many new companies were added. Well, this week we are up to 10,000, and I believe it's 26. I believe. I could be wrong. 10,026 different companies we can choose any day. Any day. So which ones do you choose? You can't buy them all. And all of them aren't moving up at the same time. So how do you pick? I pick very simply. Is the company consistently profitable? Okay, that one question right there knocks out about more than half of the stocks. Are they consistently profitable? And then once I say, are they consistently profitable for more than 20 years? Well, that takes out about 90% of all the stocks. And then I'm left with, what, 1,000 left? Okay, so out of those 1,000, how many have weekly options? Because I want weekly cash flow. Okay, I found something that works fine for me. Now, was I looking for it? No. My 9-year-old daughter jumps on my lap and says, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Well, that's when it was born. I had to figure out how to teach a 9-year-old how to trade stocks. Now, I haven't showed it tonight. Some of you have seen it before. Some of you haven't. Right there. Hold a second. I'm going to introduce you to the princess, the original 10-minute trader. It's not me. I had to figure it out for her. Okay, 10 minutes. The reason why it was 10 minutes, she was 9 years old. It had to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, all that nice, neat, fun stuff. And it had to be just a few minutes, or it wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so here she is.
Internet website called Thingy, which my dad doesn't like me calling it that, but hi, as Yacy and Penny, as you being part of my internet website called Penny, which my dad doesn't let me call it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stuff.
It's me. Long time ago. Look at all the hair I had.
That means every single day you buy a different stock, every single day there's a different company paying out dividends. Yeah! Seriously.
It cracks me up. Seriously, it cracks me up every time I see that. Now, what you're seeing is behind me, okay, is a whiteboard with an EX dividend calendar because they didn't have one 15 years ago when I was teaching my 9-year-old daughter. So to be honest with you, in this video, she's 11. Okay, we've been trading for 2 years at that point, and we started to experiment with videos. So there's a bunch of videos of me and her doing weird stuff, trading. So it had to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, all that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. And we're looking for 1% a week. That's what we're looking for. That's where it came from. Had to be simple. Adults have a tendency to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Okay? So dividend kings, great. Dividend aristocrats, wonderful. Dividend champions, dividend contenders, Warren Buffett's list. That's 300 companies that are consistently profitable and have weekly options. Other than that, I honestly don't care about them. I don't. I don't care what the S&P is doing. I don't care what the Dow is doing. I don't care about anything else. It has nothing to do with what I am focused on. Okay, I'm 61. I'm retired. There's a lot. There's a huge world out there I want to experience that I want to see. And yeah, my money matters are taken care of in 10 minutes a day. Well, nowadays a little bit longer because I do take care of other people's money and I do broadcast for other people to teach them what to do and what to look for. I think it's great when somebody signs up and 3 or 4 months later they cancel because they learned everything they're going to learn. Because you can only learn so much from me. But here's the thing. If you listen, 1% a week is over 50% a year. That's not compounding. That's just simple interest. That's actually 52. Simple interest. But compounding, you can double your money every 14 to 15 months. Well, that's kind of nice, isn't it? All right, so let's keep on going with other questions we got. Bluey wants to take a look at Pfizer, PFE. PFE. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at where we are now. Now, we're going to see a lot of this for the next couple of days until this is all done and over with. All right, so your 30-day highs right here around 28, 30-day bottoms right here at 21. Now, this is a perfect buying opportunity for a lot of people. I'm not saying this one here, but you're going to see a lot of companies, a lot of good companies that are profitable that have a new low of the year. You're going to make most of your money buying low, selling high. So you got to really get a good idea of who do you like. Do you like Pfizer? I love Pfizer. Pfizer is on my list. But at this moment in time, it's looking for the new bottom. Okay? So as soon as it finds the bottom, it may be tomorrow, it may be Thursday, it may be Friday. As soon as it finds that bottom, I like to wait 2 days for it to go up. 1 day up, 2 days up. On the third day, if it's still going up, that's where I'll jump in. Yeah, I'll miss the absolute bottom. But who knows where the absolute bottom is? Because it looks like it would be great if it was today. But we don't know. Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. New investment shared live with more than 10 friends. Cool beans, dude. Big Daddy Joe Romeo. Cool beans. This is all the beginning of the economic reset. Okay, I'm going to agree with you. Paul Renaud. James is awesome. Very easy to get in touch with. This morning's class is amazing. I'm way up. Cool beans, bro. Paul. The Mortgage Magician. I haven't seen you in a couple of days, dude. Covered calls had to have been blows away today. Okay. Didn't happen to me, but all right. Terry Smith, thank you. You're welcome. Mortgage Magician, cat has been destroyed. I'm not quite sure what you mean by cat has been destroyed. As far as I can see, okay, as far as I can see, Caterpillar had a high at 420. And now it's at, like, what is that, 260, 280? Somewhere in that area? I wouldn't consider that as destroyed. That's not even 50%. Not even 50%. Okay, you want to talk about destroyed, take a look at this. The high of the year, $40. The low of the year, $2.69. $40 to $2.69. Dude, that is over 90% drop. 90% drop. And you think Caterpillar got destroyed with, what is that? 420 to 280. That's 140. That's only 140. $140 drop from 420. 140 from 420. That's not even 25%. That's not even a 25% drop from the top to the bottom. Okay, Riley, 90%. This one, not even 25%. I don't consider that as being wrecked. Sorry, dude. I just want clarified. I Blakely, Verizon, VZ. All right, here we go. Verizon. The high, right now 48. The low, 38. It's only about a 10% drop? No, wait. 48, 38. It's $10 on a $40 stock. 25. Yeah, around 25%. Okay, but still, look at the numbers. High, low, where was it? Look at the movement. Up, down, up, down. Okay, what's happening here? What's happening here the last 30 days? Okay, up, down, new 30-day bottom today. Today's the new 30-day bottom, the new low. So yeah, it might be a good opportunity if you like Verizon and you think this is the bottom, because it could go lower tomorrow. Okay, see here? That's the previous bottom. Then you have these days going to the upside. There's another bottom here. These days going to the upside. Gets to the top, comes back down again. So could this be the bottom? It could be, but you need support on the other side. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. 1 day up, 2 days up, 3 days up, and it kept on going. I'm only looking for 1%, so for me, it's not that big a deal. 86 is in the house. Holy cow, dude, were you on vacation where they don't have internet? Because I haven't seen or heard from you in weeks. All right, where were we? Uh-oh, there it is right there. Bicky Dillon. Good evening, Bicky Dillon. Hasuna, thank you for that. Great job. You've done 90 minutes. I've done? Holy cow, it's over past 11. Tyson Larson, any teachers in your group? You know, believe it or not, Tyson, I haven't really asked anybody what they do for a profession. I haven't. Why would you also look at waste management if you have time? Okay, so Bluey, we looked at waste management last night. Waste management is a monthly optionable stock, which you haven't been here long, but I don't do monthlies because the numbers just don't work. Okay? 17 April, 16 May, 20 June. Yeah, those are months. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Not for me anyway. All right. Apple user, give me a moment. We're going to take a what's happening over on YouTube. Dollar General. Well, let's take a look at Dollar General. DG, Dollar General. Okay, so here's Dollar General. The high, 160. The low, 70. That's a 50% drop. Dude, learn the numbers. Okay, 160 to 70, below 70. That's more than a 50% drop. Okay, she turns around, goes back up. Now we're sitting at 86.02. Okay, high, low, Last year, the high was 156.84. Big drop here at the end of August. Okay, the bottom of the year, right there. The middle of January, 66 bucks. But look at the movement. High, low is, look at this. Yep. Friday, everything was dropping on Thursday and Friday. Not Dollar General. Dollar General made a new high on Thursday, made a new high on Friday. Then she started coming down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so it's not time to jump into Dollar General because here's your high. Your bottom is here at 66. Now it's at 96. Well, that's a $30 increase. A $30 increase on a $60 stock, that's over 50% increase. Okay, so from January until Friday is a 50% increase. Well, of course there's going to be profit taking. Profit taking! Yeah. So it's going to keep dropping until it's done. Alrighty, next. D-Rain, how you doing? Struggling to find a solid mentor community online. Well, I tell you what, D-Rain, hang out, chill, come back if you like it. I do have an online community, okay? Lisa, what do you think about Visa, American Express? Do you have any? No, I don't. Christian man, Jesus is king. Have you accepted him? See, here's the thing. Religion and politics, no, no, no. Sorry, dude. Jax, how you doing? D-Nuts, RSLS, never heard of it. Rooster, Dollar General. Rooster, we're looking at Dollar General right now. Okay? So, Lisa wants to take a look at Visa. Visa Las Vegas. Oh, was that what I'm looking at? Yeah, I'm going to say no. Now, here's the reason why I'm saying no, Lisa. Now, don't get me wrong. You got a nice setup. 30-day high, a 30-day bottom, 2 days to the upside. But look at this. 300 to 330, that's a 10% increase. Think about it. Monday, bottom was 300, just below 300. Today, 332. That's a 10% increase in 3 days. Think about it. 10% in 3 days. Could you hold it and hope for it goes up higher? Yeah, you could. Or you can take the money off the table, take the profit. Because here's the thing. It ain't a profit until you take it. Isn't that weird? It's not a profit until you take it. Also, nobody ever went broke taking profits. Take a look around. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. All right, so let's keep on going. So when I see big moves like that, a 10% move in 3 days, the first thing I think of is profit taking. Now, eventually, it will come back up to this area. But with a big jump like that, I'm thinking there might be some profit taking tomorrow. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, plenty of times. Okay, D's Nuts, RSLS. I have no idea what that is. RSLS. And that's why it's 34 cents. How can you possibly tell me that this company has 20 years of dividend increases when it's 30-something cents? Yeah, no. No. You have the wrong audience. Maybe I do. Lisa, what do you think about General Dynamics? Is its dividend a high yield? Okay, Lisa, you should know by now. I mean, I know you haven't been here that long, but I don't chase dividend yields. Because a dividend yield means I'm going to buy the stock and hold on to it for the whole year. Yeah, no, that ain't happening. Sorry. Longest I've ever held anything is 9 months. And I didn't do it on purpose. Okay, so here's General Dynamics. We got the same problem here. Okay, look at that big jump, 260 to 271. It looks big. It's only $10, but it looks big. Wait. That's more than that. 249. 249. Okay, that's 21 bucks, which is what, 17%, 18%, something like that. But it's over 10%. So yeah, from 249 to 270, 271. Okay, that's $21. Is that right? 39, 59, 69. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, same thing. Okay. Look at the size of that move today. More than like, okay, granted, they did have a pullback. Okay. 30-day high was on Thursday. Thursday dropped, Friday dropped, Monday dropped, new bottom right there. Tuesday was up, Wednesday just shot up. Yeah, I think there's going to be profit taking on General Dynamics tomorrow. That's just my opinion. That's it. Hold on a second. Ooh, Ranjit Shamar. Can you please explain on your weekly option trading strategy and what technical analysis? I just learned what TA meant. Where I grew up, it meant something totally different. Technical analysis on the stock setup you look to enter. Okay, Rajit, what am I looking for? Now, remember, I showed you a video of my 9-year-old daughter a little while ago. So the trading strategy I'm showing you was created for her. Stocks do two things. They go up, they go down. Well, think of yourself as an investor, okay? Step out of the shoes that you're in and take a look. The bottom is here at 240. The current price is 271. 240 to 271 is over $30. That has profit taking written all over it. Okay? That's a huge jump from here to there. Okay? It took from February, beginning of February, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks to go from here to here. It took 3 days. 7 weeks to go from here to here. It took 3 days to go from here to here. 3 days. It took 7 weeks to do that. You really think there's not going to be profit taken here? Now, every picture tells a story. Okay, so if we get out of here, and we're looking at this right here. If this is what we're looking at, totally different picture. Totally different outcome. Take a look at the patterns. Take a look at the movement. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the pattern. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up. Count it out in your head. From here, 240 to here, 280, that's a $40 move. So a $40 move on a $250 stock is right around 16, 17%. 17%, that's a big jump. Profit taking. It comes down, goes from 280 to 260. That's a $20 decrease. Okay, and then it jumps up again from 260 to 270. That's only $10. That's not that much. So can it keep going up? Yeah. Would I jump into it? Yeah. Look what the high is. The high is up here. And this is where it's currently at now. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to the upside. Can it keep going? Yes, it can. Would I jump into it there? Yeah. So you got it not just technical analysis. Does it make sense? Okay? From here to here. Okay? 240 to 280 is $40. $40 on it. You got to count down here where you started from. So $40 on a $240 stock is probably 20%. That's a big move. So there's going to be profit taking. What happens profit taking? Stocks drop. Now it will drop until it's done. So that's a funny thing with stocks. They go up until they're done. They turn around and come back down until they're done. Because it's buyers and sellers. It's me and you buying and selling. We decide what's too high and we decide what's too low. That's when we buy, that's when we sell. If we think it's low, we're going to buy it. If we think it's too high, we're going to get rid of it. It's actually that simple. All right, so this, no way, my guy, what's up? New haircut? Yep. Invest right. Dude, I haven't seen you in a while. Rooster, thank you, you're welcome. Samuel Romero. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? How's it going? Been a minute. Yes, it has been. No way. Did you ever get the soundboard hooked up? Believe it or not, I got the soundboard. I bought it a couple of months ago, and it's sitting right there. I got the microphone right here, okay? Got the microphone right there. That's not hooked up either. I got the software on my computer, and I'm only broadcasting on 3 stations. I have the ability to broadcast on 20, but I only got 3 at the moment. So yeah, I suppose you could say I'm a little technologically slow. Is what it is. Investorite wants to take a look at 3M. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Let's go back to TikTok and see what's happening over there. Paul, I'll pitch for you. Your class is the best. People need to know about it. It's that good. Hey, Paul, thank you for that. All right, Apple user wants to take a look at RH stock. Now, I gotta be honest with you, I have no idea what RH is. Restoration Hardware, 192. Well, let's take a look at Yahoo Finance to find out who RH actually is. RH, and are they consistently profitable? That's always my biggest question. Are they consistently profitable? Oh, I got a minor problem here. Who asked for RH? I can't even find out who asked for it. Oh, right there, Apple user, RH. See this right here? Dividend, nothing. EX dividend date, nothing. So I'm going to say no to this one today. La 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 la. Oh, Apple user changed his mind. Instead of RH, he wants to take a look at Nike. Well, I like Nike. And Nike works out just fine. NKE. NKE. Nike. Okay. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this big, huge gap. That's the Summer Olympics. Believe it or not, didn't watch. I don't think I've watched the Olympics since since Bruce Jenner won. Okay. I don't care what you say. You cannot force me to call him anything other than Bruce. 90.85 a year ago. Here's the high right here at 97 or 98. Big drop, back up, back down, back up, back down. Here we are right now. What's going on for the last couple of weeks? Okay, last couple of weeks, same thing. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at where we are right here. Okay, down, gap down, gap down. What's going on? It's at 59.32 at the moment, the last 30 days. Okay, here's your last 30 days. Down, up, gap down, sideways. No real rhyme or reason to what's going on here. So if you really like Nike, watch for the move. It's not there yet. You got 3 bottoms right there. 3, triple bottom. When is it going up? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Uh-oh. 11:22. That means officially this is the last stock we're looking at. Now we're just going to answer questions. Okay, now I say I answer each and every individual questions at a certain time of day. So I usually done it at 11:30. It's 11:22, so I'm no more stocks. We're just going to answer questions. Thoughts on junk? I love junk. One man's junk is another man's treasure. Sandy, Johnson & Johnson, love it. Bristol Myers Squibb, love that one too. Just launder your money. It's easier. Anthony, that's funny. What is the strategy you are working with? Okay, Whale Z. We are looking at, hold on. Okay, Whale Z. The strategy we're looking at is dividend investing for weekly cash flow using dividend stocks and covered calls. Strategically timed. That's a good one. I have concluded you do not watch the news about stocks and you do not worry about what's going on with the tariffs and you don't worry about it if it goes way down because you know it will come back up. Yes and no. Now, Lisa, I like to look at it this way, okay? A lot of crap, literally crap, has happened in the last 100 years. Stock market's been around for 400 years. Well, number one, it ain't going anywhere. All right. So it's going to be here long after I'm gone, long after you're gone. All right. Now, stocks go up, stocks go down. Certain stocks just stand the test of time. Okay. Consolidated Edison's been in business for over 200 years. They produce electricity. That's it. That's all they do. They just create electricity. However they do it, it's irrelevant. They create electricity. That's their job. Well, you got companies that produce toilet paper, tissue paper, paper towels, plastic spoons, paper plates, toothpaste, toothbrushes, windshield wiper blades. Your average, everyday, normal stuff that we buy consistently. Yeah, some companies make no sense whatsoever, but other ones that have the necessities in life, well, they're going to stand the test of time. Coca-Cola is probably going to make Coca-Cola for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I don't know. I don't see Coca-Cola stopping the production of Coca-Cola anytime soon. Just like Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler are probably going to continue making cars because that's what they do. Now, this crap that we've seen for the past 4 or 5 days, well, we've seen something just like it in 2000 with the Y2K crash. Or how about the dot-com bubble? Okay, I lost a shitload then. What about the financial crisis in 2008? What about the pandemic when the whole world stopped in 2021? Certain things happen. Certain companies just stand the test of time because they have a good product or a good service. It's just that plain and simple. If you only buy a good company, you'll have nothing to worry about, hypothetically speaking, of course. Okay, legally, I cannot say that. I get myself in trouble. And then, it is what it is. Okay, Anthony, it wasn't supposed to be funny. I have laundered my own personal money, so I know it's easier to do it. There are multiple different ways to do it nowadays. Okay, I'm not quite sure what you expect me to do with that kind of information. Okay. Samuel, would you pick Pepsi for dividends and covered calls? Yeah, if the numbers worked. Invest right. Have you been looking at any particular stocks during this market? Basically, I just been keeping an eye on the current positions that I have. Okay, because to be honest with you, I had 2 margin calls. Okay, that's why I always tell people every night, never use margin unless you understand the risks involved and you're okay with it. All right, let's go back to Yahoo TikTok. That's true. Anthony, I'm just saying I've lost more money in the stock market than I have doing any other thing. And people say you can make money at stock market. You probably can, but I can't, so I don't. Rather launder clean. All right, Anthony. Cool. If that's what you want to do, it's your thing. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. RH, I'm going to say no. Nike, we took a look at that one. Fine, dandy. Dr. Deep K. Cool. Miss Tia, good evening. Sandy, good evening. My thoughts on junk. Okay. I don't know who junk is, but Johnson & Johnson, love it. Bristol. Now, Bristol, are you talking about Bristol Myers Squibb? Another good company. Jardy. Or is that Jared? Oh, Jared. Sorry. Roy Hobbs. Roy Hobbs. No way. Roy Hobbs, the baseball player. Robert Redford played that, Roy Hobbs. Tell us more about your laundering business. How about no, we don't? Not you, James Anthony. Oh, Okay. Funny thing is, my middle name is Anthony. So not you, James Anthony. I thought you were talking to me. 09, Roy Hobbs. Yeah, that was a great movie. I love that movie. Have you tried just regular calls and puts? Of course I have, Samuel. Did you know, Samuel, 80%, 80, that's 80% of all options expire worthless. So I do not want to buy options. I used to years ago. I don't do it anymore. Now I want safety, predictability, consistency, and profitability. That's what I want. Okay? Me and all the Lees. Okay? Predictability, profitability, consistency, and then I forget the other one. Anyway, yeah, I have tried regular calls and puts, and yet no, thank you. It's not a game I want to play anymore. Apple, ooh, love Apple. Kendra Bayou, how are you today, Kendra Bayou? Tyson Larson, is it easy to learn? Okay, Tyson Larson, it was created. What I'm showing you, I specifically created it for my 9-year-old daughter back in 2008. Granted, she's 26 now, so things are a little bit different. Alcon, right now, the right time was 10 a.m. this morning. Not quite what you mean by that. Lindarella, good evening. Candellini Rising, good evening. Papa Dan, Energy Transfer, ooh. All right, Tyson Larson, Snap On is in your wheelhouse. Cool beans. Bill, you're taking a chance. Okay, Bill, thank you for that. William Rosen. Hey, James, finally took your advice. Last week I bought covered calls, stocks down. Should I roll them? Okay, William, I don't give advice. Okay, it bothers me just a smidge when people say they took my advice. I don't give advice. I don't. Okay, you ask me my opinion, and I give. I put the stock symbols in the charts, and I just read the charts, and I go by experience what I'm looking for, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that by looking at this chart here, here's the high because it's the highest one, and here's the bottom right here. 3 of them hit the bottom. Okay, there's a gap here, and there's a gap here, and this is 4 or 5 weeks. See, that part is easy, but I don't give advice. I read numbers. Okay, what's it at now? 86.65. So I'd be looking at the 58. I'd be looking at the 59. Well, the 59 is paying 222. 59 at 222, that's over 4%. It's just simple math, but I don't give advice. But I'm glad you're doing well, though, William. Roy Hobbs. Samuel, what is the tax implication of a covered call? Ooh, cool beans. Were you ever a basketball coach? Nope. I did coach soccer once. A1. Have you ever brought the dip, but it kept dipping? Oh, have I ever bought? Okay, see, there's an R in there. It says brought. Okay, so have I ever bought a dip and it kept dipping? Okay, so when I say I look for the bottom and then I want 3 days to the upside, okay? So on the 4th day, I'm actually getting in. So did it go back down again? Yeah, it always does. Okay, sometimes it does, and most of the time it doesn't. Okay, Andrea, James, how can you see how many shares are sold in your chart? Okay, Andrea, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. Right up here, it says volume. At the very top, okay, let's get rid of the options. Okay, options confuse people. Okay, just the stock information. The last traded price, the opening price of the day, the high price of the day, the low price of the day, the bid, the ask, how much shares traded that day, right there, 44,732,546. That's how many shares of Nike traded today. It's right there. Volume. Let's keep on keeping on. Rob Haskins, good evening, good evening. Kelby, good evening. Tommy Mac. Ooh, Tommy Mac. No, wrong song. Vegas Nights, Apple. Oh, I love Apple. I do. Maribel Covetta. Jefferson Maderos. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Bagel Josher, what website are you using? Okay, so Bagel Josher, this is not a website. This is a trading platform. Okay, so you have your choice where you want to make your trades. Okay, you can do it on Thinkorswim. You can do it on Charles Schwab. You can do it on Interactive Brokers. You can do it on Webull. You can do it on Robin. There are so many brokers you can use. Now, each one has their own attributes, has their own perks. And you got to learn each one. So each one is different. Now, I found this one 20 years ago. And I thank God every day that they haven't changed it. Little Monk. Good evening, Little Monk. Do you sell at the money cash secured puts? Yes, I do. Denham Blair Jones. Good evening. iRod. How much does it cost to get a one-on-one training? Okay, iRod, I tell you what. It's not going to cost you a single thing for you to go to the top left corner where you see my name right there. Click on that, send me a number. I'll give you a call. I will guarantee you I will not try to sell you anything. We'll sit and we'll chat for a few minutes. Okay, get your questions answered before you decide whether or not you actually want to do a one-on-one with me. All right. Thank Alcon. Good evening. What was that? Atu Love. Good evening. User 96183766948037. Good evening to you too. David, what's happening? Kaylee Rock. Good evening, Kaylee Rock. Noah Hamel, ORC. Dude, you have to come to me tomorrow. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Holy cow. Another week is gone. Cool beans. Oscar Cruz. What's happening? Jay Wagner. AMD. Advanced Micro Devices. Okay, Jay Wagner, come back tomorrow. We'll take a look at Advanced Micro Devices. But before we do, I want you to go into a financial website, whichever financial website you want to look at. Take a look at how wonderful the dividends are with AMD. And then we'll talk, and then we'll show you some really good stuff about AMD. You're going to love it. Okay, user 62 blah, blah, blah is laughing his ass off. He thinks that shit's funny. Melodic Angel wants to take a look at Southwest Airlines. Ooh. Elson Rivera wants to take a look at Leggett and Platt. Sweet Den, good evening. My guess is since Nike's clothes are made in China, they're probably some scared too. Okay, could be. Michael, good evening, Michael. Momo, oh, mom of two. Looks like Momo to me. Momo F2. Okay. FH, when tariffs hit, will Dollar General change to $31 General? I'm in a dividend stunk. Cool beans, Art. IETUN. Well, that does not sound like a U.S. stock. It sounds like something from Canada. Chrysler still makes cars? Yes, they do. Bluey. What? Whatever. Cody L. Bowman, how are you today? Uh-oh. User 761579425424. What is a margin call? Okay, so user 76, okay, I'm just going to. A margin call is when you borrow money from someone to do your trading. And if the stocks go down to a certain point, the person you borrowed that money from said, hey, dude, stocks are down. I want my money back now. That's the way it goes. Don't do margin money unless you understand the risks involved. John, good evening, John. Maldonado, cool beans. Jonathan Nelson, good evening. Brotkins, NUTX, never heard of it. Bluey, do I do Walgreens? No. Uh-oh, Andrea, typos, a margin. Okay. Afterburner, good evening, Bluey. Does your 26-year-old invest at all now? No, she doesn't. Okay. Now, from when she was 9 until she was about, I'd say right around 12 or 13. Now, if you have a daughter or if you're a girl, you know exactly what happens at age 12 to 13. Okay? So daddy was the greatest, daddy was wonderful from age 2 until about 12 or 13. Then daddy was nothing but an ATM. Okay, so a lot of you understand exactly what that is. With young girls, they are no longer your daughter until they're 25. So from 12 until about 25, who knows who the hell they are. So yeah, that's just the way it went. Hamza, good evening. Good evening. Could you recommend me a good broker? I don't know anything about you. Okay, so telling you something may lead you astray. It's always best, I found, to work the equation backwards. What do I mean by that? Well, what do you want? What are you willing to get? Because you actually have to do something. You have to put some time and some effort in. Okay, do you want a mobile device on your phone or your iPad? Or do you want something on your computer, had more computing power? I don't know anything about you, so I can't give you any good advice. And I don't give advice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bagel Josh. Can you teach me trading? Wilson, of course I can. You just keep coming back every night. I'm here every night. Bagel Josher, awesome. Cool beans. What about Zim? Okay, Jay Murr. I'll tell you what. Come back tomorrow night. I'm here every night. Before you ask me about Zim again, I want you to go into any financial website whatsoever, anyone, see how often has Zim increased their dividends to their shareholders. How profitable and how consistently profitable have they been? Okay? Remember Enron? Yes, I do. A1 Steak, hypothetically, if you got rug pulled by the president, can you sue him? No, you cannot. Sorry. No way! Strait of Hormuz got blocked, or everything tanks. Okay. Thank you, no way. Nothing to do with stocks, but all right. Sweet Dan, good evening. Oh, Sweet Den. Sorry about it. Sweet Den. Azil Zari, what site are you using? It's not a site. It is a trading platform called Think or Swim. Trading Arsenal. Ha, ha, ha. Somebody asked that. Yeah, would you believe it or not? Somebody asked that. Club Med Tom, dude, I haven't seen you in days. How you been? What song, dude? Uh-oh. I have a whole bunch of songs. Okay. You can rattle off a couple of words. I could probably find a song that those words are in. Okay, Barbara Franklin. Barbara Franklin, how are you today? Okay, Tommy Mack says Thinkorswim is awesome. I love Thinkorswim. Uh-oh. Mersadi, what's the best way to get started as a beginner? YouTube. Ask as many questions as you want right on YouTube. Papa Laos, just curious, is the blue on the chart volume? Yes, it is. Okay, that was very, very good, Papa Laos. The blue on the chart, that is volume. See, there's a volume spike there, volume spike there, volume spike there. Samuel, have you done a covered call on Nvidia? Oh boy, Samuel, you haven't. Yeah, you're late to the game, dude. We looked at Nvidia earlier today. Nvidia has a 1 penny dividend. 1 penny. It's $1. It's $112 per stock. 1 penny dividend. The yield for Nvidia is 0.04. It's not even 0.5% for the year. No, I don't do Nvidia. I stay away from that floating turd. No way. GF has Redair turtles and a 50-gallon. Any tips on cleaning other? Yeah, dude, no. Okay, what does that have to do? No, I'm going to ignore that one. Papa Laos. Okay, we already answered that one. Sophia Olson, how are you today? Eddie, thoughts on SPY tomorrow? SPY, my thoughts on SPY, stay away from it. That's my thoughts. Mom of two. What should I invest in right now tonight? I was looking for something, a smart-ass answer, but I can't come up with one because I don't know anything about you. So it wouldn't be right. Education. Okay, mom of two, education. Learn as much as you can. Make the decision, okay? Because it's a simple decision. And the funny thing about decisions, it takes 1/10 of a second to make a decision. But it takes the rest of your life to live with that decision. So the decision, mom of two, is, do I invest the money myself and learn? Or do I just give it to someone else to do it for me? That's it. The decision itself will take 1/10 of a second to make the decision. Living with the decision is going to take a lifetime. What's your favorite book on investing? That would be Wade Cook's Wall Street Money Machine. It was a simple read. I need one-on-one. Just found your page, so maybe I will go read. Okay, mom of two. Easy, simple read. Wade Cook's Wall Street Money Machine. It was a simple read. And once you read it, you think to yourself, holy shit, is it that easy? Because it is. Bluey, I've heard Options as Strategic Investments by Macmillan is an option Bible. Cool beans. Garrett, do you use volatility index as to determine stocks for the week? No, I do not. Mom of two, yep, good for you. Ahmed, thank you. ROI 20%. Thank you. Amy Howland, right on. Woohoo. Bluey, thanks. You don't trade Walgreens anymore. No, I don't. Because, Alice, since Walgreens signed that contract for a buyout, it just doesn't seem to fit anymore. Learn to make money. There you go. Funky Cold Medina, Heinz 57, that's KHC. It's been in business for over 100 years, and they are a dividend king. Nice going. Funky Base Dave, Mini Max Gamble each week. Okay, I'm not quite sure, Funky Base, what you mean by that. Can you get into margin by mistake? Do you get warning beginner here? Okay, so usually, most people, when they sign up for an account, usually they just give you a margin account. But here's the thing. Just because they give you a margin account doesn't mean you have to use it. Okay, so X, use your head. If you put in $1,000 and you look in your account and you see $2,000 there, yeah, you only put in 1,000. Don't kid yourself. You didn't make that much money that quick. So yeah, as stocks go up, they give you more margin money. If you keep an eye on what you have, you know exactly what you have. And then you can call your broker and say, hey, I don't want margin money. Favorite stock last year was Macy's. This year, I'm going to say U.S. Steel. Games and Puzzles. What's the name of the book you started earlier? the name of the book I stated earlier. Oh, that would be The Wall Street Money Machine by Wade Cook. My question last night was, when do you suggest price cost averaging? Ooh, that's a good one. Hold that thought for a second. Leo, thank you for that. Very nice of you. Samuel Romeo, any ideas on lows? Well, ask me tomorrow. We're almost at midnight. I'm almost a half hour overtime. Dollar cost averaging. Okay, so I still haven't done the 4 strike rule yet. Ooh, might have to do that one tomorrow. Sorry, dudes. Dollar cost averaging. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's say, hypothetically, I'll give you a good example. Kohl's. KSS. Kohl's. There we go. So, funny thing about Kohl's is I've had Kohl's for quite a while. I originally jumped into Kohl's at 22. Let's get rid of this. Okay. I originally jumped into Kohl's at 22. Last time this thing was at 22 was back in June of last year. So that's why I originally bought into Kohl's. And I've been trading it every single week. And as it slowly went down, right around 16, I bought some more. Okay, so if you average it out from 22 and 16, you get an average of around 20. 19. So it'll be 16 and 22. Smack dab in the middle is right around 19. So that's my average price. But then it kept on dropping. So then I bought a bunch at 12. So you got 22, 16, 12. So now my average price is around 16. But it's at $7 now. And my average price is 16, which is way up here. So I'm still below. So if and when you have the ability to dollar cost average, that's a total call you have to make on your own. Nobody can tell you what to do. Nobody can tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. Hey, this is what you should do. I don't tell anybody anything. I will share with you what I am doing, and I'll tell you what I would do if I was in that situation, but I can't tell you what to do. You guys have to figure out what is right for you, because what's right for you might not be right for me. I sold puts to get paid something on all of my portfolio positions. Not wrong with that. Cool, did the same thing with Kohl's. Thanks. Papalaus. Cool beans. All right, so that's it for all the questions. So we are done for the night. Awesome! Emke, how are you doing today? So over here on Facebook, you guys are totally useless. Over on Facebook, didn't even work. I'm gonna have to fix that one. All right, that's just not working. I'm gonna just unplug that one, get rid of that one. Tom, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, over here on Thinkers, what is this one? Instagram. Over here on Instagram, you guys have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow. You guys over here on TikTok, have a nice night. We'll see you again tomorrow. And you guys over here on YouTube, have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow.